And then we also have a brilliant law school called as Nalsar. So between all these four institutions, we agreed that we will create India's largest incubator. Now, what would it do? People can walk in with any kind of an idea, and we will help you, take you through the process. A lot of times entrepreneurs, youngsters have great ideas, but they don't know how to give it a shape. So what T-Hub does is exactly that. It gives you an opportunity, it gives you a platform to learn from mentors, to connect with peers, to raise money, to write a business plan, to understand the legal process, to understand everything that it takes to create a business. So we created in 2015, in 2014 I became a minister. By 2015 early we were ready to launch it in about 70,000 square feet. But I wanted one gentleman to inaugurate it. That was Mr. Ratan Tata. So I reached out to him. I said, sir, you have to come inaugurate. He said, I'm a bit sick, I can't make it now. So I waited for almost 4 months to let Mr. Tata inaugurate it. The reason why I say all this is because I believe Mr. Tata today symbolizes the kind of change that is sweeping the country. Now here is this gentleman who's a septuagenarian, who's 70 plus, and every day, typically when you think of Tata, you think of robust trucks, you think of manufacturing, you think of big engines. But here is this guy, day in, day out, investing in startups. So I said, there can't be a better person to inaugurate than, this facility than him. So that's how T-Hub Phase 1 happened, which was India's largest. 2 years later, we inaugurated what is called as the reactor building, which is the world's largest incubator in about 500,000, which is 5 lakh plus square foot, which can help about 2,000 plus startups under one roof. So that's how it happened.
Fantastic,
Cheers.
fantastic. Yeah. So the same location has the largest innovation center.
Yes, and incidentally, it's not just about startups and software, India being a software powerhouse. Now, if you look at a small country like Taiwan, it has become a powerhouse for electronics, and China, of course, we all know is a leader. So we started looking at why India really does not have, that kind of a presence in manufacturing, especially electronics. Then we realized that, the design thinking concepts, which are typically inculcated in other countries from a very early stage. I had visited Japan as a minister about 7-8 years ago. One of the fascinating things, I was waiting to meet Mr. Osamu Suzuki, who is the chairman of Suzuki. And I was told that he's in a board meeting. Why don't you go to the museum right next door, Suzuki Museum? I said, I'm not a big fan of museums, I don't want to go. They said, no, it's interesting, please go visit. So I was there, generally strolling through the museum. Then I see these kids, 5 and 6-year-old kids, probably in their elementary school. So they're all going around in the museum. So I said, what are these kids doing here? For an adult like me, museum is boring, what are these kids doing? They said, watch. So I was watching these kids. They went from one place to another, and then there is a kiosk where the kid could select what kind of car he or she would want, what kind of color, what kind of make, and what are the different accessories, etc. And then all you have to do is click a few buttons and then hit a button, and then just like how you would get a Pepsi bottle from a vending machine, you would get a car of your choice with your name inscribed on it. See, that got me thinking. That's basically what Japanese are trying to do from a very early stages, letting the kids think that they can design products, that they can come out with new age prototypes. So then we started thinking after that tour, what should we do to encourage our youngsters, especially school kids in school, and maybe even hobbyists, even somebody who's probably in middle age as well, if they're wanting to do something as a hobby, to create a prototype, what could we do? Then we looked at a few things, and then we eventually said, let's create a prototyping facility. We call it T-Works. So it is again India's largest prototyping facility. It is embedded in the campus. Now the third thing that's coming up in the largest campus in 18 acres is called as Image Tower. Image. Image stands for Innovation in Multimedia, Animation, Gaming and Entertainment. So between all these three different centers, Image, T-Works and T-Hub, we have nearly 1.6 million square feet, which is 16 lakh square foot of footprint, physical footprint, which will house more than a few thousand startups, making it the world's largest campus. So our ambition was not to compete with Bangalore or anybody in India, but to actually make a global impact, and that's exactly what we achieved in a short span.
Very, very short span. It was brilliant. Telangana was founded on June 2014 with a per capita income of 1,24,000. And now in 23-24, the per capita income is 3,56,000. One of the highest, or you mentioned to me, it is the highest per capita in the world. That means 193% above the national average. So how did this happen?
Well, like I said, Telangana was formed not by luck or by chance. It took a lot of pluck, a lot of hard work, led by our leader, Mr. KTR. We fought really hard to make this state happen. So when the state happened, when the state actually was formed, we took it upon, this job as a challenge, as a task. We didn't look at it as just any other job, being a minister, being in government, doing fancy things, going one day and cutting a ribbon and saying hello and, posing for pictures, etc. We worked on getting our basics sorted. See, I'm a huge fan of your state, Kerala, because, when I was a student in school, I used to hear about how Kerala has achieved 100% literacy, etc. So even we wanted to start focusing on basics. Our power situation, our electricity situation was bad. We were a power deficit state. We wanted to become self-sufficient and then later surplus. Our drinking water situation was bad. So we wanted to ensure each and every home gets a potable drinking water connection. Our agri situation, again, our farmers were going through a crisis. There was huge distress. It is a holistic, integrated model that we, followed, resulting in some amazing things. Telangana has become the first state in India to provide a portable drinking water connection to each and every one of our 10 million homes, which is 1 crore households.
Fantastic. You deserve a round of applause for that.
This is a project called as Mission Bhagirath, which later inspired Government of India to start what is called as Jal Jeevan Mission. Now, which they are talking about Har Ghar Jal, which is tap water connection to each and every home. Second thing we did, you may not be knowing this, but I urge you all, if you have a phone in your hands, please pull out your phone and please type in Google, if you can, please. World's largest lift irrigation project. World's largest lift irrigation project. For those of you who are trigger happy and who have speed, typing abilities, please tell me what the answer is. One of you? Miss Revati Krishna says, Kaleshwaram. Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project is the answer, and that is in the state of Telangana, in our own country, India. But not many of us know this. We built this project in flat 3.5 years. And this is the world's largest lift irrigation project, where we draw water from 80 meters above sea level, and through multiple stages of lifting, we take it all the way to 618 meters above sea level. And this project is a multi-purpose project. It irrigates about 45 lakh acres of land in one cycle, one season, which if you take 2 seasons, it's about 90 lakh acres, which is 9 million acres. It also has 10% of water earmarked for industrial consumption, and it also provides for drinking water needs of a city like Hyderabad, and also en route we have thousands of villages whose drinking water needs are met with. So these kind of marvelous projects, unfortunately we didn't market it as well as we should have. I'm sure you must have heard of Three Gorges Dam. How many of you have heard of Three Gorges? Quite a few. China. Yes. They have marketed it well. Unfortunately, in Telangana and India, we didn't talk about it. And neither did our leaders in Delhi.
I have to say, initially I thought it was the largest in India, and then I went to ChatGPT to reconfirm. It is actually the largest in the world. It was amazing to see that.
So combination of all this, drinking water, power, and irrigation, industry and IT, of course. So today we dominate, not just in IT exports in India. We are the leading paddy producer in the country. So this kind of turnaround happened because we were driven by a leader, KCR, who drove this with passion, with dedication and absolute commitment, 100% commitment. And that's why today Telangana is the state with the highest per capita income in the country. In 2014, when we started, our per capita income was 1,24,000 rupees. Today, I'm proud to share with you, it's 3,57,000 rupees, which is much,
Fantastic.
much higher than the rest of the country and the national average.
Absolutely. Okay, the next question, this is, an answer with all our charter members in TiE Kerala, definitely want to know. The question is, how did you convince our architect Sabu Jacob to invest in Telangana? Most importantly, I have to add this question to that. Most importantly, what does Kerala need to do so that its entrepreneurs don't move to states like Telangana and the rest of India?
Well, Sabu Jacob's story, I don't know if anybody from Kitex is here, but what happened is I have this very bad habit of reading newspapers. It's a terrible habit. I read about 13 newspapers every day, and it really takes away about 1.5 hours of my time. So one morning I was reading Economic Times, and I see this news article which said, Kitex Group wants to move its 3,000 plus crores of business to another location. It didn't say where, when, etc. So I was fascinated. I read through the thing, and he said, he's having problems here. So I just clicked the picture. My habit is I have lots of WhatsApp groups in my phone for various departments, various party activities, etc. So I clicked the picture, sent it to my secretary, my industry secretary. I said, please find out more, and please get me the details of this gentleman. My secretary is a very sharp guy. So he immediately got me Sabu Jacob's number. So I texted Sabu Jacob saying, Mr. Jacob, I want to talk to you. My name is KTR. I'm the minister from Telangana. I don't get a call back. He didn't call. So I called him myself. He didn't answer. So I said, this is funny. Why is he not answering? So I called my secretary. I said, this guy is avoiding me. Maybe I did something wrong. Why don't you talk to him and make him talk to me? So he caught hold of Mr. Jacob. Then he conferenced me in. Then Mr. Jacob says, I didn't know it was you. I just thought somebody was pranking me. So I just, didn't want to be pranked. What happens then is something interesting. So I saw this news article on a Monday. On Tuesday, we are on a conference call. And this was in the middle of COVID, or just about the time we are getting out of COVID. So I basically on the phone, I made a pitch. I said, Mr. Jacob, we have a brilliant industrial policy. Why don't you come invest in Telangana, etc. He said, yeah, but, I have to check the flight situation and then I'll come back to you. Then I said, why don't I send you a flight? I said, why don't I send you a flight? He was like, what did you say, come again? I said, I'll send you a flight to Kochi so that you can fly and come and visit me. He said, are you serious? I said, I'm very serious. He said, then let's make plans. I'll come on Thursday. And then he immediately asked me, can I announce this in Cochin? I said, please announce it, but only before you board the flight. If you announce it today, your entire government will come and sit at your doorstep. They won't let you move out. So please announce it when you're actually boarding the flight. So on Thursday, he boarded the flight without any commitment. He just was coming to do window shopping. He came in. So we hosted him. I received him, hosted him. Then I flew him in a chopper to Warangal, which is where our India's largest textile park is. Showed him the location. Shared plans with him. Then he flew back in the evening. He meets me and he says, I'm impressed. I'm going to announce 1,000 crores of investment. This is day one.
Wow.
Next morning, there is another offsite near Hyderabad airport. So we show him that also. Then he's even more kicked. He says, I want to announce 1 more 1,000 crores of investment. And 6 months later, after we did the MOU, he liked the way we did business in Telangana. And today, Kitex Group's operations will kickstart in December. In fact, this month, as we speak, the first phase will be launched. And altogether, their investments are now more than 3,000 plus crores in Telangana. So good thing is,
amazing.
The Economic Times piece which said this investment is moving somewhere. I'm glad it did not go to Sri Lanka, did not go to Bangladesh. It came to another part of India at least. Now the second part of your question on what Kerala government needs to do, I think the answer is pretty simple. We are caught in this mindset that whenever we hear the word disruption, whenever we hear the word startup, we think that disruption is only confined to the youngsters and startups and tech space, etc. Disruption can happen in policy as well. In fact, one of the things we did, you will be surprised when I say this. Our chief minister one day, when in 2014, initial days when this new state was formed, he sat all of us around, including the bureaucrats. So we were having a conversation. One question he asked. He said, why should government be giving any clearance or any permission at all? Why should government give any clearance to an industrialist? Why can't we let them be? So all of our industry secretaries and commissioners were scratching their heads. What is the answer? What do I say to the chief minister who's asking me, challenging me rather, why should the government be in the business of giving approvals at all? They said, sir, but compliance, regulatory needs. If a disaster happens, how do we ensure that there is accountability, etc., etc. Then we found middle ground. We said, let's do this. Let's have an investor or an entrepreneur enter any enterprise, start day one without any clearance. Let them certify themselves that they are going to be in compliance with the law of the land. It's called self-certification. And simultaneously, let them put in a piece of paper or send an application online that I am going to be in compliance with the law of the land. Please give me permission, etc. Now then we created a legislation, an act called TS-IPASS. Yeah. Now TS-IPASS, most of you who travel to the US or even who travel on the highways here, you have the fast tags, you have the easy passes. Similarly, what we created was TS-IPASS. TS-IPASS stands for Telangana State Industrial Project Approval Self-Certification System. So, if you don't hear back from the government after starting the construction of your factory on day one, this might sound too good to be true for some of you, but it is a fact. You can start construction on day one without panchayat approval, without municipality approval, without collector approval, without going to the secretary, without meeting the minister. In 15 days after you submit the application, if you don't hear back from the government, by statute, by law, on the 16th day, it's an automatic approval, it's a deemed approval. And one last thing I'll say.
Definitely this deserves a round of applause.
And in case you're thinking, does it really work or is this guy a politician so he's talking fluff? Let me tell you, in the last 10 years, I mean, I have not been a minister for the last 1 year, but in the last 9.5 years when we were in office, I can tell you that we gave more than 24,000 clearances and 99.9% were within 15-day window. And we attracted more than 3.5 lakh crores of investment. We've been able to create more than 2.4 million jobs of direct potential, which is 24 lakhs. And we continue to grow. That's why the GSDP grew, that's why the per capita grew, that's why all the other indicators. The last thing I'll tell you, policy disruption is also about bringing in accountability. It's not just about creating fancy policies. So one of the things we did, if a bureaucrat is held responsible for holding your file, for holding your approval beyond the 15-day window, then we can fine, the government can fine 1,000 rupees per day till such time as that bureaucrat clears it.
Okay, that's an amazing policy. I wish all the governments could have...
Kerala can simply copy paste it. They don't have to reinvent anything. Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan can take it, copy paste, implement it. It's because one state in India, which is not very far from you, has done it, has basically, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is do a copy paste, call a few secretaries from there, do a secretary level meeting, call entrepreneurs into a room, tell them, this is the model that we're going to do, and see why would they move to any other state in India at all.
Absolutely.
You're such a beautiful state, you're God's own country. Yeah. You don't need to move anywhere else. You have such beautiful coastlines and beautiful locations here, so yeah.
Yes, so what we need to do is we should have a joint meeting, that is, we need to set up a joint meeting with the secretaries.
Or you allow my party to grow in Kerala and let me run the government here. The Congress fellows, the BJP fellows and CPM, all of them will now crucify me the minute I get out of here. I have a target on my back.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the impact of WeHub initiative for women entrepreneurs in Telangana? I was very pleasantly surprised that you have a WeHub exclusively for women entrepreneurs incubation. So what is different from normal incubators?
See, the thing is, we didn't just stop at T-Hub and T-Works. T-Hub is startup incubator, like I said. T-Works is prototyping. Image is for innovation in there's various sectors like multimedia, entertainment. Then we also started looking at other things. We started what is called as TASK, Telangana Academy for Skills and Knowledge. Then we started another vehicle called as TSIC, the Telangana State Innovation Cell. We are probably the only state in the country which had an chief innovation officer in the state government. And then in 2017, November, we hosted Prime Minister Modi and President Trump's daughter, the advisor to US government, Ivanka Trump, in Hyderabad in an event called as Global Entrepreneurship Summit. The theme of that event was called as Global Women Empowerment. So we, as part of the 3-day deliberations and as part of the outcome of the event, we agreed that Hyderabad will create, Telangana will create India's first and one and only Women Entrepreneurs Hub. Now, why is it important to encourage more and more women participation? Our leader, KTR, he keeps reminding us one thing. He says, 50% of the population is women, of course, and if you let them remain idle, you don't give them opportunities, you don't give them a platform, and you don't encourage them to be a part of productive working class, then essentially your country and your state is missing out on a huge opportunity. So he came out with a policy for women entrepreneurs. In industrial parks, we have dedicated lots allotted. We have specialized incentives for women entrepreneurs. And we also wanted to create for startups and other youngsters, young women, women-led startups, wanted to create a platform called as VHub. Now, VHub is exclusive, is also, when I say exclusive, it doesn't mean that no men are allowed. It just means that the founders have to be women. Okay. They can have men also working for them. And then as part of the process, we again provide the similar mentoring services. We offer them, again, good guidance. People like Sangeeta Reddy, Vani Kola are on the board of VHub, all achievers. See, ultimately, Anisha, one thing is a reality, be it in India or the US. You need poster girls and poster boys, who can lead you, yes, who can inspire you, and who can actually bring out the best in you. That's exactly what we wanted to do in VHub, and I'm delighted today that it has become a success, not just for Telangana. VHub is now actually helping many other states create similar models and give a huge push to women empowerment across many other states in India as well.
Yes. And I think the GDP is also directly linked to women entrepreneurs in the state.
In fact, Telangana also has one of the highest MSMEs led by women entrepreneurs in India. So again, very inclusive story. That's something I'm very proud of.
Okay, I think I have specific questions. Okay, this is to Mr. Mahesh. You have 30 plus years experience in the education sector, and Kerala, we are a small state. A good number of our students are now going abroad for further studies, and this is actually troubling us as a state, because our youngsters, we have a very, very large percentage that is now going abroad for studies. What do you see as a gap? Why are they going abroad, and what can we as a state do to ensure that our youngsters stay back here?
Thanks, Anisha. It's not just from the Kerala, actually. It is happening across the India. So the first and foremost thing I would say is like in a quality of education. If you look at the schools, K-12 schools, we see several premier international schools and the public schools. There are so many schools in India, but the same thing kind of a quality when we are not getting when it comes to the undergrad or postgrad programs. The first thing is quality, and the second thing is the infrastructure, and then the research facilities, and several other things like what you can see in the other countries like America, UK, Canada, and Australia. If you see per year, as an average, about 1 million students are going to overseas for their higher education. It's mainly the students graduating from Indian universities or Indian colleges. After completing the education, most of them are not employable. So their programs are not ready, they don't have enough research involved, and the industry connect is missing. With the Telangana government, our Honorable CM, after coming into power, to bridge the gap in between, he introduced the private university bill to address to some extent, but it is a long way to go. And several other states should come forward, and mostly the government of India should come forward to build the infrastructure, to improve the quality of our educational institutions. India has several institutions like IIT, NIT and all, but with the looking at 1.4 billion of population, the premier institutes what we have is like not even below the 1%. So that's how most of the students are ending up for better opportunities going to overseas, but it might take few decades to stop that flow and to bring it back. It's not the problem for Kerala, it is for entire India.
But you mentioned this private university bill.
Yeah, it's now the government of Telangana under the leadership of KCR introduced the private universities and encouraging, because there are several courses, they have to go through the certain approvals of AICTE and the nomenclature, you can only offer certain courses. But with the private university bill, they can offer any number of courses, like they can come up with the industry connect courses.
Okay. This question anybody can answer. I mean, it's bothering me a lot. We have, recently we heard 38% of IIT graduates remain unplaced in 2024. That's around 8,000 students. What is the gap? Where did we go wrong? Why did that happen?
Well, 38%, I've seen the statistic also. It's slightly misleading also. I think most of them actually are offering or are opting to start their own enterprises also. We typically go by this barometer of placements and how many people are actually getting a job, etc. But being self-employed, being a founder of a startup also should be counted. I'm not sure if that 36% actually is an accurate reflection of the reality of IITs and IIMs, which I have my doubts. And second thing is, yes, I think the aspirations have gone up tremendously. Today, kids don't want to settle for anything less than what they really feel they're qualified for. So they don't want to settle for a second or a third option that they had in mind. So it's one of those things. I don't think the situation is as bad as it is being made out to be. But yes, the unemployment situation is of course there. I will not deny it. But IITs and IIMs are the elite institutions of India. In fact, if you remember, Google is also being run by an IIT student from India. So yes. I think our kids are very capable. They're able to run some of the best enterprises in the world. There's no reason for us to be overtly concerned. But at the same time, I think we need to, like Mahesh said, we need to fill that most important industry academia gap that we do have. Maybe encourage more apprenticeships, maybe encourage more practice school kind of modes, so that it becomes easy for the kids to get employed.
Collaboration between industry and the universities.
Absolutely. Being market ready.
Okay. Mahesh, again, what are the skill sets you think employers are looking for in graduates today?
Mostly now you can see everybody is talking about IT and AI lately with the data sciences and all. Globally, like including the Middle East or even in India, the construction industry is booming. But most of the parents or even most of the students, they want to get into IT. The process, like the way the mindset has to be changed, and there are several opportunities. Like I've been talking to so many when it comes to the America or Australia, they choose their passion as their course. It's unlike doctors or engineers. So there are opportunities in every sector. So some of them can go as a psychologist, some of them can go into the media. The unlimited opportunities in overseas. So that's how you need to aim at what you like.
Okay. Thank you, Mahesh. Okay, Murli, this is my one big question to you. You are the TiE Global Vice Chair, and you were also the chair of TGS Hyderabad. Okay, so what does TiE Kerala need to do to get the opportunity to do a TGS here?
Offer him really good Malabar chicken curry and Malabar fish curry. He loves it.
So TiE Kerala did pitch, 2 years back we did pitch, and now it's gone to Bangalore, and then it's gone to Rajasthan. So we're waiting for a turn. So what do we need to do, Murli? That's the first question. Second question is, after you did the TGS at Hyderabad, what is the impact it had on the ecosystem there?
Anisha, thank you. First and foremost, let me thank Jacob and his team for inviting us here. And I do need to say thanks to your husband for arm twisting me so that I get to spend time with my brother. For the people who have been to Hyderabad for TGS 22, while I know Honorable Minister, ex-minister, but he's still a minister for me in my mind, KTR Garu, I dearly call him and endearingly call him Anna. So for giving me the opportunity to spend some time with him today. So, to answer your first question, Anisha, even for Hyderabad, even though I'm one of the 3 founders for the TiE Global Summit as a property for TiE Global, 2017, when Hyderabad was hosting Global Entrepreneurship Summit, we had the opportunity to pitch to the government of Telangana under the auspices of the then Honorable Minister K.T. Ramarao Garu, who was the Minister for IT and Industries, and we said we would like to bring the TiE Global Summit to Hyderabad. And only one thing which KTR said that day, only whatever it takes, right? The government of Telangana will support the TiE Global if we have to bring the TiE Global Summit. So Kerala government has to say that to TiE Kerala so that we can do the TiE Global Summit in Kerala. And that day we can get that confidence to the Global Board of Trustees. I think we can do that. And even in the case of Bangalore and Rajasthan, that is exactly what had happened. We had a very promising promise from both the state governments that they will support from the infrastructure point of view in every way in which they can support the success of TiE Global Summit. Coming to the second aspect of the impact, till date, I'm hoping that Bangalore will shatter the records of the TiE Global Summit next week. Till date, the Hyderabad TiE Global Summit in 2022 is the largest summit of the TiE Global, right? More than 3,300 people were there. And the biggest impact is almost about 1,300 people going through the master classes for those 2 days, right? Where they took that opportunity and scaled their businesses to the next level.
Okay.
So as you know, Anisha, as being the president of TiE Kerala, the past president of TiE Kerala, TiE does not do metrics from the amount of investments, the VC rounds or the seed rounds or whatever happens. It is all by the unmeasurable metrics of how a company has gone from 0 to 1 or 1 to 10 and 10 to 100. So that's the impact in the entire ecosystem, not just in Hyderabad, but throughout the global ecosystem TiE Hyderabad Global Summit has played.
Okay, excellent. So the first step is to have an association with the Kerala government and get their commitment.
Not just the association, but the firm commitment from the government.
And
you need to get KTR as your minister.
Yes, definitely. Murli, so thank you for that. And I also got an idea about the impact. And when we do get the TGS, okay, we will come back to you to ensure that we get 1,000+ charter members from around the world to come here. And, you know, we are doing everything in our power to increase investments in Kerala. Like KTR himself said, it's a beautiful, beautiful state. And we have to do...
I promise you one thing. I'm volunteering to do one thing for Kerala. If Murli does promise, TiE Global Summit here, I'll convince Mr. Yusuf Ali to give this convention center for free because I know Mr. Lulu.
Oh, fantastic.
Mr. Yusuf Ali very well, firstly. And secondly, I'll personally champion the cause. I'll go and do a few road shows if needed because I love your state. And I'm going to really promote tourism plus investment opportunities, and I'll request Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan to pay me for that. But I'll also do that for you voluntarily.
I'm sure you will do that. I'm sure.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I'd love for an opportunity for a state like Kerala because see, one of the things I firmly believe in, I think Murli will agree with me on this, is a state like Kerala has so many youngsters who are so creative and so enthusiastic. For lack of opportunities today, when a movie like Bangalore Days comes out, it's funny, but it's true that people are moving towards bigger cities. When we can create brilliant opportunities right here in our own home, in our own backyard, there's no reason for our kids to move elsewhere. So therefore, what I would recommend strongly is combination, and Kerala has to find that recipe of its own. You have beautiful, beautiful landscapes here. You have beautiful, beaches, coastlines as well, which will let the creative juices flowing even from our innovator perspective. So combination of government support, combination of nice mentor network, and most importantly, like I said, the tourism angle as well combined. Working in a place like Bangalore, which is crowded, Hyderabad, which is again a large metro, versus a small town here. Today, a Zoho has shown the world that it really doesn't have. Sridhar Vembu has shown the world that it really doesn't matter where you actually are getting your work done from. Even COVID has shown us that no matter where you are geographically, you can get work done. So I think Kerala stands on that brilliant cusp of breaking into the big league. And as an Indian, as a huge fan of Kerala, I'll do my bit in supporting and encouraging TiE Global Summit here in whatever little capacity I can. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. That deserves a big round of applause, everyone. and I'm definitely going to hold you to that commitment. You have 1,000 plus witnesses here.
It isn't a politician's promise, it is my commitment, so I'll do it.
Thank you. Do you have 1 more or 2 more minutes for a rapid fire? Okay. 2 more minutes, Nisha?
The chair says no.
Okay, then, okay. Okay, just 2 questions, okay? And then maybe...
Go ahead, Anisha, you can have. As a vice chair of TI Global, I'm saying it.
Okay, this is just a few questions. It's like a rapid fire, so it won't take more than 2 minutes.
Okay, here we have the Karan Johar now. Come on, go on.
No, very, very simple questions. What's your hobby pastime other than politics?
Binge watching Netflix and Amazon, I think, and mostly Malayalam movies.
Okay, okay.
Serious.
If you weren't in politics, what career would you choose?
Something creative, for sure. I would be involved in the creative field. I'd probably be dabbling in something creative, 100%. I wouldn't say movies or television or whatever, but something creative which will let this keep working, full time.
Okay. What is the number 1 skill an entrepreneur should have from your perspective?
I think the ability to face failure and also treat it as a stepping stone, not be discouraged and put off. I think you have to celebrate failure. That's the first bloody thing you need to learn. Because everybody falls. When you're riding a bicycle or trying to learn a bicycle, we have a Jacob here who cycled 4,200 kilometers, so he should tell us. You do fall off. Yes. But then I think what matters, like they say in boxing, is not how hard a punch you can throw, but how hard a punch you can take and then get back up and running. That's what
absolutely beautiful, beautiful. What motivates you to get up and work every day?
Well, mostly these days, police cases and other things. Yeah, off late in opposition, it's not been nice, but otherwise, always somebody hounding me. But off late, it's been like that. But otherwise, just the fact that you get to actually create an impact. I think in the society, you're not, living a boring life, but you're able to create an impactful presence. I think that really is inspiring and impressive. It should really push you out of your bed.
Okay. If there was a movie about your life, which actor would play you?
Oh, no. I'm not qualified for that yet. Maybe
we'll send Fahad.
Maybe another Fahad. Oh, Fahad would be good. But 15 years down the road, maybe we should have a conversation. Not now. I'm too much of a rookie right now, so no.
Okay.
Cheers.
So that concludes with the rapid fire. Thank you so much for this insightful
Anisha,
session.
with your permission, I want to give a big round of applause. I've not seen any politician who will come to a different state and owns that particular state and pitch for the TI Global Summit. Anna, sincerely, from my bottom of the heart, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Totally.
Thank you, Anisha, Honorable Minister Shri KT Ramrao, Murali Bukappan and Mahesh Bigla for that fiery session. As a token of our gratitude, TI Kerala would like to present a memento to each of our honorable guests, and to do the honor, I kindly request Anisha Cherian. Remain on stage. I invite on stage Chair TiEcon Vivek Govind Krishna and President TI Kerala Jacob Joy to join our guests for a group photo. Thank you so much. Delegates, please note there is a QR code on each table. Kindly scan it and submit your feedback so that we can organize TiEcon 2025 better. Thank you. I now invite Ravindranath Kamath, President, Kerala Angel Network, co-founder and CFO Next Education India Private Limited, to announce the CAN investments.
Good evening to you all. So, as you know, Kerala Angel Network, or CAN, is the funding arm of TiEcon. So we are happy to announce some of the investments that were made in the last 6 months. Just a quick word. So we have 70 members. About 14 investments since inception in about 4 years, 6 in the last 9 months. So we have the first one, which is Pre-Magic. You would see the QR codes on the screen. So this is a AI-based event tech platform. So you can take a snap and get your officially taken photos on your phone, led by a team of Anup Mohan and the lead investors Rajesh P. We have invested about 0.75 CR in D2C feminine hygiene brand called FemiSafe. It's founded by the amazing couple Naureen and Nasif, led by Revati. Nutrizo is another D2C nourishment brand focusing on lactation and other feminine nourishment, led by Richa and Sanket Penkate. We have co-invested with other founders like other investors like VCATS and IPV. NimbleUp is another of our investments, which is AI-based workflow scheduling platform with marquee clientele of even McDonald's and Starbucks, headed by Yogesh and Manish. We have QuickShift, which is a warehousing and order fulfillment platform by Anshul. We are co-investors with lot many investors here, including Axelor and all that. Roche AI, which is our latest investment, which is probably the second largest, 2.2 CR of a total round of 8 CR, led by Roshi and Rajaram. You would have seen the speech by Roshi. We are into autonomous vehicle development. Last but not the least, this is probably the third round into Cooked. It's a D2C ready-to-cook product platform led by Adityan. Thank you. And just to conclude, to say we also put the money where the mouth is. Thank you.
I think Kamath deserves a bigger round of applause. Thank you, Kamath. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the TiE Awards and Valedictory function of TiEcon. It's here that we celebrate excellence. We start with the TiE Kerala Legacy video. Onto the screen.
The Indus Entrepreneurs was born in 1992 when visionary Indian origin entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley united to share knowledge and support. By 1994, it evolved into a global organization, blending Silicon Valley's innovative spirit with India's rich Guru Shishya tradition. TiE Kerala was established in 2003 with 10 charter members and a mission to build an entrepreneur in every home. From the very beginning, the chapter has championed the entrepreneurial spirit through transformative initiatives inspired by the visionary guidance of management guru, the late Dr. C.K. Prahalad. His invaluable contribution, the House of TiE, serves as a guiding treasure for the organization. Rooted in the 5 pillars of mentoring, education, networking, incubation and funding, TiE Kerala continues to empower entrepreneurs across the state. TiE Kerala conducts a wide range of activities, including workshops, mentoring sessions, Coffee Pe Charcha, My Story, Leader Connect, master classes, and networking mixers. Its special interest groups focus on diverse sectors like IT, agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, tourism, financial and legal services, and women entrepreneurship. Charter member retreats are a hallmark of TiE Kerala, fostering deep bonds and camaraderie among members and their families. With over 45 retreats, including 2 All India gatherings, these connections form the backbone of the chapter's thriving community. TiE Kerala's newest initiative targets 5 critical sectors: agriculture, education, health